Right, this video is on equivalent fractions, and this is something that we should all know how to do at this stage, but it's no harm to do a bit of a review before we get into more complicated stuff. So, let's talk about what equivalent fractions are. Two fractions are said to be equivalent if they have the exact same value. For example, if I have the fraction 1/2, and if I have the fraction 3/6, well, both of those fractions have the same value. 1/2 is the same as 3/6. It's also the same as 4/8, the same as 5/10, and so on. Okay? So 5, let me see, where am I? 5/10. So all these fractions are equivalent because if you reduce 5/10, you will eventually reduce it to a half, 4/8 will become a half, and so on. Okay, so I don't think it's very difficult. Really, if you have a fraction and you want to get an equivalent fraction, really it just means that you have to multiply both the top and the bottom by the same number. So if you look at a half, okay, and I go to 3/6, well, I multiply the top by 3 to get 3, and I multiply the bottom by 3 to get 6. To get 4/8, I multiplied the top by 4 and the bottom by 4. And to get 5/10, the top by 5 and the bottom by 5. Okay, so that's what an equivalent fraction means, that the top and the bottom have been multiplied by the same number. And there's an infinite number of equivalent fractions. For any fraction I give you, there's an infinity of fractions that are equivalent to it. Okay, so let's have a look at examples. Okay, so first one, this is the type of thing you can get. Write 3 fractions that are equivalent to 6/7. Okay, so we have 6/7. So let's look at the top and the bottom. To get a fraction that's equivalent to it, we're going to multiply the top by some number, and we're going to multiply the bottom by the same number. Doesn't matter what the number is. So for example, I'll go the top by 10. By 10, hold on, that just looks a little bit weird. Okay, hold on till I get my eraser. Okay, so what I'm going to do is top times 10, but I must multiply the bottom by the same thing. So what's that going to give you? 60/70. Another option would be if I multiply, say, the top by 4, I would get 24. And if I multiply the bottom by 4, then I would get 28. So 24/28 is equivalent to 6/7. And also, what if I multiply the top by 25 and the bottom by 25? I would get 150. Just 1 second. 150 over 175. So there's 3 fractions that are equivalent to 6/7. They have the exact same overall value. Okay? We could have chosen any numbers to multiply top and bottom by, and we would have got equivalent fractions. I just happened to choose 10, 4, and then 25. But you can choose any numbers. Right, let's have a look here. Which of the 3 fractions that should be below is equivalent to 3/11? Okay, so 3/11. Let's have a look and see. So, look at the first one. What do I have to multiply what do I have to divide the top by to get 3? Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 4, because if I divide 12 by 4, I get 3. And if I divide 44 by 4, I get 11. So 12/44 is actually 3/11. That's the answer. Let's look at the next one. 9. What do I have to divide 9 by to get 3? I have to divide it by 3. Okay, so 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then 39 divided by 3 is 13. We don't want 3/13s, we want 3/11s. So again, we have 15/56. So I need 3 on the top of my fraction. What do I have to divide 15 by to get 3? I have to divide it by 5. Okay, so 15 divided by 5 is 3. I would also have to divide 56 by 5, but that's going to be like 11.2, so that's not correct. So the one that we want is this one here. 12/44 is also the same as 3/11. Okay? And the final type of example we're going to look at. Okay, you have 2/9 and 2/9 is equal to something over, I'm just going to change this here, instead of 21 we're going to change it to 27 just for the sake of handiness, okay? It just makes it a little bit easier. So 2/9 equals something over 27, not 21, alright? So what do I have to multiply the bottom by here? I have 9 and I get to 27. How do I get that? What do I multiply by? I multiply by 3. Okay? So, if I multiply the bottom by 3, I have to multiply the top by the same thing. That's what equivalent fractions are. The top and the bottom multiplied by the same number. So 9 27s, sorry, 9 goes to 27 by multiplying by 3. So I have to multiply the top by 3 as well. So 6 27s is the same as 2/9. Okay, so there's 3 simple types of questions you can get on equivalent fractions. So let's have a look. I have some questions lined up on the next page for you. So ideally you should go through these questions before ideally you should go through these questions and then you can move on to the next section, okay? So let me see. So we have practice problems. So the first 3. Write 3 fractions which are equivalent to 1/7. Then do the same for 5/13 and the same for 11/26, okay? So just pause the video now if you want to keep this on screen while you do the problems. So that's A, B and C. Part D, you have the fraction 5/16. You want to know which of the fractions, of the 3 fractions that you're given there, are equivalent to 5/16. So if you look at 20 over 49, you want to get 5 at the top of that fraction. So you would have to divide by a certain number to get 5. Divide top and bottom, and you're hoping that both that will work out to be 5/16. If it doesn't, then that fraction is not equivalent. Okay? So try that with the 3 of them, see which one gives you the answer you want. And then E and F. So 7 over 8 is equal to something over 40. Okay, so what are you multiplying the bottom by? Then you multiply the top by the same number. And then try and work out the last one there, which is 6 over something equals 54 over 63. Okay, so there we go. Best of luck with them. We'll have a look at some in class.